Namaskaram. As a man, if you ever want to win in an argument with your loved ones, particularly your wife or a girlfriend, never use logic to win the argument. Because if you ever win the argument with logic, they never lose. You may feel that you have won it, but they never lose it deep inside. If you want to win them, you have to win them through love only. Love is the only parameter through which women get melted. Now, even if you use love, and depending upon situations, whether who is wrong, if they are wrong and you use logic to let them know how you are hurt, you explain them how you are hurt and how it makes sense. Trust me, they never take it. Either whenever you explain something through logic, either they discard it by thinking कि ये क्या बोल रहा है, या फिर the other way, they do not pay attention to it. You'll always see very less amount of women who try to understand logic of you, because every logic to make it understand, it needs to have a fantastic sense of memory, because you have to understand what exactly happened, and you also have to understand a vivid sense of imagination, that you can imagine that if one thing could have changed, then how 10 different possibilities could have arisen. I'm not saying they are not imaginative, they cannot imagine things, they cannot remember anything, but when it comes to argument, and when it comes to sorting out sort of things, often you will find if a woman wants to sort, they actually eat all those things and they just leave it like that. Similarly, men also do those things, because whenever two people talk, they usually you'll find people saying, if there is something wrong, talk it out, you'll sort it out. But it doesn't happen, because every human being functions in their way, and most of the time when someone trying to make sense, the other persons don't understand it. When the other person try to make sense, this person doesn't understand it. So often what happens is, in the words, in the conversations only, there is a mismatch, there is a miscommunication every single time. The what we feel inside and what we express is somehow 60 to 70% is the same, but rest of the thing is a different thing. Now when it comes to wording and conversations, you will find that most of the conversations, or most of the words, that actually made from logic. Now if you are using words, you are bound to use logic. There is no way you are not using logics without when you are using words. Now, and this is the problem with women's. It's not a problem, in fact, and this is the situation with women's, that whenever they say something, and their meaning of the word actually is completely different. That is because of this particular issue. Every word has to has a logic into it. Now when you women say something, you will find that most of the time they are saying something and their meaning is something different. It's only because there is logically it's not aligning those words. So when it comes to women, when they are expressing themselves about a certain situation, what they say and what they feel inside is a completely different situation. So only 30 to 40% is matching, and the rest of the things is not matching. So every single time you are just only understanding from what they are saying, you will find that you are always wrong. And that is what one happens when you do an argument. When you argue, you want to make sense in the argument by taking the past sentences what they have said. But when you take the past sentences what they have said, you will realize, and when you put that argument in front, they will say that I have not said this, because what they have felt is a complete different than what they have said. So understanding women is not difficult as everybody says. It is only a matter of fact to how much amount of attention you are putting into it. If you are putting a lot of attention to the people, leaving yourself aside, then only you can be able to understand a person. Whenever we are seeing somebody, if it is about our perspective, ki how am I seeing it, then there is a sense of your attachment towards the thing, because it is always like you are having a glass on your eyes. Like if I am saying something, I am having a glass on my eyes, and then I'm seeing the world. Now the question is how clear that glass is. If it is of red color, then I'll see the world as red. If it is green, then I'll see the world as green. If it is completely clean, then I can only see the world. And to make it completely clean, you have to drop yourself. Every man and woman thinks from here. Now if they are thinking from here, it is always based on how they are seeing the world, what are the experience they have gone through, what are the input they are having so far, and what is inside them. Now what is inside them is out of anybody's mind, right? Every human mind is a garbage bin, and this garbage bin is filled with what they have seen, what they have touched, taste and heard. Now you cannot get access to that, and unless and until you get access to that garbage bin, you will never know what is there inside and how they will perform. But depending upon certain situations, certain behavior, certain patterns, certain gender or certain upbringing, you will be able to understand that how they are behaving, and this is what you can call psychology or something. But beyond that, understanding any man or woman, it is completely impossible. So understanding the pattern will give you somehow an access to use that person in a good way. But it is really difficult for a woman or man to make them do something that is actually for you, because every human beings in this world, they are always thinking about themselves, and they are seeing the world from their own glasses, own eyes. So they are the hero of their journey. Whatever they do, even if they do something wrong, even if they do something right, you can never make them feel wrong about it. Every single time whatever they do, they always feel right, because it is them and they are the hero in their life, irrespective of what they do. Even if a hero kills somebody in a movie, that hero never goes as villain, right? So this is what happens to the people as well. Every people, whatever they do, irrespective of it's a good or bad, they never consider themselves wrong. And even if they consider themselves wrong in any situation, they try to avoid that situation, or they try to forget it as soon as possible. It doesn't mean that nobody is in the world is right or nobody in the world is wrong. It is always about the perspective of the people from whom they are seeing it. If I'm seeing it, then I can say, yeah, you are wrong. But if I'm seeing, because see, the problem with the human life is that what I'm doing is something that I cannot see. But what you are doing, I can see, I can observe, I can stand here, I can sit here, and then I can see what you are doing. But what I'm doing is something that I cannot see. It's just something that I'm doing, because sense organs are made in such a way that it can take information from outside, not from the within. If you want to understand anything from the within, then you have to sit in silent, then you have to think very easily by doing the bifurcation properly without creating any mess. If you can think logically, then you can be able to understand it. But when it comes to women's, they do not think logically by sitting at one place. They either feel bad, either feel good. They work in terms of emotions, not in terms of logics. So whatever happens in between you, if you try to sort it out through logic but not emotion, you are definitely going to lose it. Even if you win, then let me tell you, you have lost it, because the other person, the woman, is not feeling good about it. You will see one more thing, that whenever you will having an argument, you will be talking about the situation that has happened wrong or that has gone wrong. But when it comes to them, they always think, or they're always talking about from whatever gone wrong with this. So it is not about the situation when it's come to them. They always start the argument or start the logical argument from themselves only. So I am hurt, from there the argument starts. If their argument starts, it means they are already in the conclusion. I am hurt is the conclusion. So if you're talking about the situation, then you can add something, they can add something, you can add something, they can counter argue it, and then you get to a point, and then you get to one conclusion. Or maybe you are not getting, you never get to a conclusion, because any argument that you are doing, at the end you have to understand that we are not having complete perspective of this, so it doesn't end. But you understand that how far it can go. So no argument ever ends, but arguing is a great thing if you are doing it by keeping yourself outside. But when it comes to them, they start the argument from the fact that I am hurt, and since they are starting from I am hurt only, so they only keep saying the sentences, keep saying the things that revolves around I am hurt. So even if you are trying to divert them from I am hurt to something else, that what exactly happened, they will pull you back over them. And even if you make them, even if you prove them wrong as well, still they will come back and ask the first question that they have asked. You will see this multiple times whenever you are arguing with these people. So I'm not saying anyone is wrong, anyone is right, but what I'm saying is, if you are winning, if you want to win a person, then always win through love. Don't use logic. Thank you so much for watching. Namaskar.